So in the book, at the end of chapter 1, there are always exercises, and you should try some of those, get a feel for it. You don't have to do them all, just try some of them. Usually in the lectures, I'll indicate, in the videos and elsewhere, I'll indicate what to practice. But this is paralleling some of what we did in the previous lecture as well as what's in the book, so you can just follow along here. So there are four combinations. You can have a true premise, true conclusion, true premise, false conclusion. Okay. Now on the other side, false premise, true conclusion, false premise, false conclusion. No other. Think about it. That's all four. What happens in these various cases? Do any of these tell you anything definite? It turns out, surprisingly, only one of these cases tells you something definite. All three, can be had, and they can tell you it doesn't say whether the argument is valid or invalid. Okay, that's surprising. True premises, true conclusion. You could have a bunch of things that have no connection to one another. Remember, I presume you've read this before, so the video is always just a further sort of solidifying of your understanding. So in this case, when there's no connection, I list three things. I mean, two premises and a conclusion. I could list four premises and a fifth conclusion. It doesn't matter, but let's try two premises. First premise, I like ice cream. True. Second premise, today is Monday. True, as I say it now. Hence conclusion 3, Bozo's a clown. What? That makes no damn sense. Yeah, it's true Bozo's a clown. It's true I like ice cream. It's true that today is Monday. No connection. All three things are true, but there's no connection, so that doesn't make for validity. Validity says there's an intimate connection. If you have true premises, the conclusion is guaranteed to follow. Not just you list a bunch of true things randomly. There's a connection there. Okay, next combination, true premises, false conclusion. This is the one and only case that indicates something definitively of all the four cases that we got. If you have true premises, false conclusion, that, no matter how you cut it, guarantees that an argument is invalid. That means you're not forced to the conclusion, because the premises could be true, conclusion false. That means the conclusion not guaranteed, so the argument is invalid. Yeah. Okay, moving on. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. False premises, true conclusion. You can have valid as well as invalid arguments. Here's a valid one. All pigs do philosophy. False. Socrates was a pig. False. He was a person, a philosopher. They often say he was pig-like because he was pretty ugly. He had a snout. But that's not saying he was literally a pig, right? Unless you're a jerk of a person, you say you are a pig. Well, that's an invalid inference. Thus, Socrates did philosophy. Yes, this is valid. Why? Because in form. All A's are B, S is A, therefore S is B. Here's an invalid example. All pigs do philosophy. Yes, that's false. All pigs fly. That's false. But it's true that all philosophers like flying pigs. Oh, well, maybe that's not true. I could say, this philosopher likes flying pigs, namely me, and it would be true. But it still doesn't make it valid. Why? Because you could have these two true and no connection to the last one. All A's are B and all A's are C does not connect up B and C. Yeah, think about the form. All A's are B. All A's are C. Well, it tells you that A's are B and C, but it doesn't tell you how B and C are related to each other, at least given those two things. So it's invalid. Let's just move on. False premises, false conclusion. Likewise here, you can have valid and invalid instances. I will let you read through that. But the point is, again, for all four of these combinations, you can have valid as well as invalid. The only one that tells you something definite is number 2. When you have true premises, false conclusion, that for sure, without doubt, no choice, indicates the argument is invalid. So what is logic about? Well, as I've mentioned before, it's a discipline of the mind. It's a discipline of itself, keeping track, doing things, turning work in on time, all that good stuff. But you're also trying to, as it were, rearrange, reorganize the sort of elements of your mind. If your mind has various compartments, like a house, and the house is in disarray, how do you organize it so things are in place where they should be so you can find things? It's not just strengthening of your mind that logic's about, or what kind of weightlifting, which is the exercises, the symbolism, the difficulty of thinking. It's also keeping pace with things, keeping on a regular exercise schedule. That's why you turn in homework and the rest. We go to the gym, 24-hour fitness, we weightlift with our bodies. Why not for our minds? I mean, our minds are, in a sense, the most important things that distinguish us as human beings from others. It's what allows you, if If you got a strong body but no mind, you're not going very far in life. It's your mind that makes you strong. And the mind is inclusive, not just schooling, it's a wider thing than that. Your attitude, your spiritual training, right? Your attitude not just to life and to school and to whatnot, but the ways in which you manage, if you think about it, your inferences. You get mad all the time, even if you're damn smart. You get all A's in class, but you got a terrible attitude. It's not going to get you very far. So it's more than just schooling. It's controlling your inferences in a wide sense, disciplining your inferences. But in order to do that, you have to be aware of what your inferences are about. That's part of what logic is about. That's part of why this is philosophy. Yeah, it's an exercise in self-cultivation, but it can also help in the prevention of having others impose their crappy inferences on you. You're strengthening your own inferences to recognize gaps in your own knowledge and your own thinking, as well as, and this redounds to others, the ways in which others make mistakes in reasoning, and the ways in which you can resist having them say, pass stuff on to you, and you're like, yeah, that sounds good, and you buy it, and it turns out it's totally incorrect. Okay, that's it for this lecture.